months and 25 days post-op. So again, I apologize, I haven't been able to get videos up. It's been kind of busy. I've had quite a few appointments, trying to catch up on some stuff that I haven't been able to get done. Though you can see that we're almost moved in, so I'm really happy to be able to be in this space. But anyways, I'm gonna get right to this video. So I want to talk about a few things that I've been posting through my social media and kind of the reality of phalloplasty and complications and kind of now what that looks like. So obviously I mentioned, if you haven't seen though, is that I had some complications coming out of surgery. Literally the second day of surgery, my first complication showed, and then from there it just progressed and continued to have complications, and I had about close to 22 to be exact, and those are including the infections that I had. So it was just a lot of different, complications that I didn't expect or that I was not aware of or never really heard people that experienced that. And I have gone through these complications in previous videos as well. But I kind of want to talk about that because now the biggest thing is with my arm, and I'll get to that, but is now that it is almost healed, I'm noticing things that obviously aren't perfect or aren't exactly what I expected for the outcome of phalloplasty. So I kind of want to talk about that. It is very personal to me, but it is something that I do want to share, and I'm actually sharing photos of this through my OnlyFans. So if you do want to go and look at that, the pictures are there. I just don't feel comfortable in posting those anywhere else on any other platform. But anyways, yeah, so with some of the complications with my arm right now, it's mostly with the granulation tissue, or where that was, is that I still have the bumps in that area, but I am getting bubbles are starting to pop up, and then eventually those bubbles end up bursting. But what's happening, which is kind of cool, is that with those bubbles coming out, is that the skin is actually going down. So where the bumps are, they are starting to flatten out. It's just that in order for that to do that is that those little bubbles are coming out and then popping. And it is something that is normal, that with especially the amount of complications I had. I talked to the plastics guy and also home care nursing, and they said basically what's happening is that you have 7 different stages of skin cycles, and what my skin is doing, it's going through different cycles as of right now. And during those cycles is it's pushing up that the old skin, and then the bubbles are just getting trapped inside, and then eventually those bubbles will come out, and then new skin is going to form. So which is kind of cool, and I'm really just happy to see that it is going to start leveling out and that it is still healing. But the only downside is that I'm still wearing the old compression sleeve with the gauze, I'm still wrapping it every single day. So that's the only downside, is I can't actually wear an actual compression sleeve as of yet. I still have to wear the medical one because I still have to have it wrapped. Also, in case you're curious, I do have a sleeve that is going over it now. I was kind of getting sick of just to 2 different colors, especially with the hand glove, which I'm not wearing today, but yeah, it was just 2 different colors and it was awkward going out, and I'm just I didn't like it. So I made myself a sleeve. I'm actually thinking about making more of these because I don't really see anything, especially with the thumb, that is poking out. So that I really liked because then it covers the whole part of the thumb of the glove. The only thing is that with the fingers, it doesn't quite come up as far as where the glove did, but it didn't really bother me. I really just liked that one. It was trans colors too, that it actually covered all of the gauze and all of the wrap and stuff, and it was just, I don't know, it felt like it was more me. And the only other ones I've ever seen are the UV sleeves, and then usually sometimes those come up quite too far, or or they're actually too small, or they don't stay on properly. But I actually ended up making this, and I think I'm gonna make some more. But anyways, yeah, so that was with my arm. I've only seen a few really minor things, other than the bumps. The scarring is starting to heal, it is starting to go down, and I'm really happy about that. Now, on the other side of things with the phallus, I am gonna start talking about that, so if you don't want to hear about it, please take yourself off of this video. But anyways, yeah, so with the phallus, I did actually have quite a few complications with that. Again, also had some eschar, had some granulation tissue. So with a few things that I've now noticed that it is healed, is that the scarring, or the way that it healed because it was being kind of pulled back by the eschar, is that it actually kind of folded back towards the left a little bit. So now that it's healed, it's kind of it's actually healed kind of curved more to the left. and it's staying like that. So what I'm trying to do is massage that area, because basically now it's a buildup of scar that's holding it there, and hoping that if I massage the scar that it will kind of release itself over time. If not, by about 1 year post-op, they can do a scar or revision on it, or scar repair, I guess, on it, and hoping that that'll correct it and make it more straight, because also I don't want to get the implant or any implant until that is corrected, because right now it just sits more to the left and I feel like it would be fighting against the implant if so. And then also too, I had with a couple complications, it also just naturally kind of sits to the left at the top of the base of the phallus, and underneath as well. It's just kind of angled oddly, I guess. So in general, it just sits to the left. And then as well, like, I do have some redness on the left side, which is where all the eschar and the scarring is, but it is starting to go down, which I'm happy to see that it is kind of going down. But just in general, like, it just, the outcome of the way that it looks, the way that it sits, and just all in all, like, it's not exactly what I expected. Also, with some of the complications and whatnot I have, the size is not exactly where I thought it would be, but also it's still a little early. And I know sometimes people say over time, like, if you let things hang naturally, like, it will kind of just stretch itself back out, because all the scarring is so thick. And also because I did have complications, like I said, there's a bit of areas that have like thicker scarring, so it's holding things together a little bit differently. So again, like, I'm not too sure how that's going to correlate in the end of when all of this is done, but as well, like, there's just some issues with that. And then lastly, I've talked about in a previous video, which was my urethra area, and it is determined that basically my urethra area did actually migrate. So it basically comes up again to the left and up kind of towards the top area, instead of sitting like right at the front and the center. And again, I think that is due to the skin being pulled back with the eschar, and also just the way that it healed when it was like that. So I, again, will probably be getting that corrected either in the second stage, I'm hoping, before they do their urethra hookup. I don't see why they would not correct that beforehand. But anyways, I have been told by the surgeon that it is something that they can correct in a future surgery, which I'm really happy to hear about. So yeah, it's just, some things that I didn't really expect the outcome with, and just was not really aware of, because I never really heard or like, knew that from somebody else. And I know obviously with these kind of surgeries that the outcome is not going to look and be as realistic as cisgender anatomy, I guess. But at the same time, it's just I have an expectation, especially, being like where I was going, the surgeon that I was with, and just in general, like what from the results that I've seen with other people. But also, again, I never really saw anybody who had the same amount of complications I did, and therefore I didn't really have anybody to like look at and compare myself to, and look at the results and be like, okay, that's what I'm going to expect, because I don't see a lot of people who have complications talk openly about their experience and what things look like or what the outcome was afterwards, because it's very personal. It's also not something you hear about, and it's not the normal when it comes to phalloplasty. So I feel like, even for myself sharing this, it just, felt like maybe I shouldn't share it, because I don't want people to get the wrong expectation of phalloplasty. But that's just part of it, is that this could be the results of what someone else may get in the future. But anyways, yeah, I hope you like this video. I'm sorry it's so long, but if you have any more questions or topics or anything like that, always feel free to put them down in the comments. And as always, I do have my recovery tip option and my Amazon wishlist backup, so if you would like to support me in that way, feel free to do so. But hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. Bye for now.